Hey, welcome back. It's Terry, Everything Homestead. It's been quite a while since I posted a video, and it's for very good reason. In this video, I'm going to explain, give you an update on what's been going on with me and my family. And just bear with me and explain all this. It's all going to tie into the title of the video. Anyway, this time I've been off from making videos, I've still been getting a lot of subscribers new to this channel, and I really appreciate that. It's wonderful to see that people are still looking at some of the older content that I have, and if you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to do so. So if you just bear with me for a minute, I'm going to give you the update, what's been going on, what's been keeping me away, and then in just a minute we'll get into the video, and you'll understand. Just hang on. For the last month and a half, and I've been having issues with one of my family members was pretty sick, and dealing with that for a couple of weeks, and she's gotten better. And then I'm more than happy to help my family when they're in trouble with some type of sickness, getting over whatever. I like doing that. I'm going to do that anytime rather than make a video. So sorry, YouTube, you're second in my life, and first is my family. So she was sick for a while. She's better now, thank goodness. Tons of prayers have been coming around. They all help. Then soon after that, my son, who has some medical issues, has had most of his life, had a situation where he fell down and he broke his leg really badly. It was so bad we had to call an ambulance, take him to the hospital, and it was badly broken to the point he had to be transferred to the next hospital, a bigger hospital, and he had to have surgery. And so he was in the hospital for about a week and a half, almost 2 weeks, and it was a pretty bad break. And on top of that, his other medical conditions were flaring up and causing problems, so we had to stay in the hospital for quite a bit longer than normal. He was having a tough time of it, battling through that. He had possible blood clots, dealing with trouble breathing, trouble with his pulse rate, giving us troubles, medications. It's just everything was not going well for a while. And a few days into that, and I stayed in the hospital with him. My wife and I kind of switched back and forth. But while I was there in the hospital with him, I got a phone call that my dad had been taken to the hospital by ambulance for medical issues I'm not going to go into here. And so then, had that going on, I couldn't leave the hospital because I needed to stay with my son. My wife had her job she had to stay with, so I chose to stay with my son in the hospital where he was. My brothers and sister went with my mom to be with my dad when he went to the hospital. And about a day and a half of him being at the hospital, we had to make some tough decisions, some end-of-life decisions. And it felt like the old cartoon, or not cartoon, the old toy, Stretch Armstrong, where you stretch him out 2 different directions and see how far he can go before he breaks. It was tough, a lot of tough decisions to be made, and luckily our family is united very well, and all the decisions were easier to make because of that. And so, long story short, got through those tough few days. My son was discharged last Tuesday, and we took him home. Still needs a ton of care on the home front. He's not through this by the long stretch, but we're making progress. Prayers are working. Appreciate all the people praying out there and wishing us well through this. He's going to be just fine, I think. Just a long road to recovery. Unfortunately, last Saturday, we had the funeral for my dad. I did get home in time to go visit him before he passed away, and it's just been one of those weeks where it's just a lot of crap happens, but we're making it through it. So I mention all this as an update and also to get to the point of this video. As I'm sitting in the hospital dealing with all this that I just told you about, to pass the time, I go on my phone and I go through my channel to see how it's doing, and I notice the new subscribers, and I like looking through the comments. And as I'm scrolling through the comments, and a lot of you probably have seen my video about catching mice, and got videos on different things about chickens and stuff. Scrolling through the comments, and I see comments like, "I really hate mice, don't want to deal with them, but I just don't like to touch them. And I can't stand the thought of killing them. I can't stand with chickens. I can't stand, I like the eggs, but I just can't butcher them for the meat. Or I don't like to touch chickens." And I'm sitting in the hospital thinking, you guys are so weak. You don't, you got to put things in perspective. I always tell my kids that. Put things in perspective. I'm dealing with the things that I was dealing with, life and death decisions for days on end, and I'm looking at a comment saying, "I can't touch a mouse." It's just, I don't like to see those kind of things, and I wish people would just wake up. And this doesn't mean, this video is not meant to belittle anybody or to cut anybody down or to upset anybody. I want to encourage people with this video to recognize how you live, what you do in your life, and what's important, what's not important. And I was amazed at people, what they just refuse to do. And I'm guilty of things too. There's things that I really don't like to do too. But when it comes right down to it, could you do it if you had to? And a lot of people probably say, "Well, I don't have to." Well, then if you get a mouse problem in your house, then live with mice in your house. If you're too weak to get past the issue of touching a dead mouse or the thought of killing a mouse, just deal with the mice all over your house. If you can't figure out how to get the chicken that you have that needs to be butchered and cooked up for your meal, if you can't figure out how to do that, then just starve. Go to the grocery store and buy your chicken, I guess. But the point of this video is, I want you all to recognize how you live your life, what your weaknesses are, and I have them too in different ways. But if it's not you that's going to do these difficult things, who's going to do it? I used to work in the medical field, and we used to in surgery, and we had people come in who have gangrene of the toes, let's say. And there's nothing worse. There's no worse smell in the world. Most disgusting sight in the world is seeing a gangrenous foot or toes or something, and they come in there and just smell is awful. You go home and that smell is still in your nose. You can't get rid of that smell for days. It's awful. And you think of a million places you'd rather be other than there. I'd touch 1,000 dead mice before I'd rather go back there. But there again, if you don't do it, who's going to do it? Somebody needs to do it. There's a person counting on you to do that. If you have a hungry family and you got chicken running around and you need to eat that chicken, somebody needs to take care of the chicken to feed your family. Somebody's got to do it. If you've got a house infested with mice and they're ruining your home, chewing electrical wires, somebody's got to do this. There's a lot of phrases I'd like to say right now about it, but YouTube would ban this video if I said it. Like, you got to grow a couple, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. You just got to blank up. I guess the kindest way to say is you just need to grow up, face facts, recognize what's important in life, putting things in perspective. I want you to think about this video of me in the hospital dealing with these decisions that had to be made. Thankfully, I've got a strong family to help me through this. But think about what you're complaining about. Really? I want this to be a video to encourage you to work on these problems. It's not easy. If you don't like touching mice, I understand. But you got to be able to get past that. You have to. If you don't like touching chickens, then don't have chickens. Or chickens are not pit bulls. Worst they can do is peck you, and that doesn't even hardly draw blood ever. Put on a pair of gloves, work through it, figure it out. Don't be one of those people that just sits there and complains about everything and takes no action. You have to take action, to get anything good in life. Nothing good in life comes easy. Nothing. Something's given to you for free, it's worthless. It has no value. So I'm going to end this video with saying that my dad used to say all the time. I'll have to make it a little bit more PG for this video. He used to always say, poop or get off the pot. That's pretty much stayed with me my whole life. Told my kids that a number of times. You got to be a person of action to get things, anything good in life done. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't. Leave any comments you have in the comments section. I want to hear from you. Catch you later.